This video focuses on how to work with pinion bearing races. In some cases, the preferred tools are not available, so we're demonstrating a few methods that could help. We've got a pinion support from a third member style for demonstration, but these methods will work on any installed pinion bearing race. Once a pinion bearing race is seated, it sits flush and can be difficult to remove. When removal is needed, the most reliable method is to drive the race out from the opposite side. For example, to drive out the outer bearing race, the puck goes through the side that supports the inner bearing race, so use a puck that is smaller in diameter than the bore. Fully contact the exposed lip of the bearing race and drive it off as evenly as possible. When working with removable pinion supports, the driver and pinion support can be put in the hydraulic press. To press out the outer race, place the support, inner side up, on a single press plate. Because of its shallow depth, to remove the inner race, the pinion support needs to be balanced between two press plates, with a padded box beneath to catch the race as it's driven off. A punch can be used in lieu of a puck to drive a race out from the opposite side, but it'll be a lot more time consuming. Alternate the punch's position up, down, and to each side between taps to walk out the race evenly, or the race can bind up within the bore. Pinion bearing races are the smooth metal ring parts that the pinion bearing rotates in. Seat the pinion bearing races into their bore with the angled face facing outward to be able to receive the roller bearings. When installing pinion bearing races, it is imperative to drive them in evenly. The easiest way to seat the bearing races in place is with a hammer and driver. Use a driver that has a puck the same diameter as the race being driven. It should be just slightly smaller than the bore the race is getting seated into. Keep going until the race sinks in flush. A look through from the opposite side can help visually check that the race is completely seated. But ultimately, you can always tell when a race seats by the feel and sound. Upon the race seating, the sound will alter to a higher pitched tone than previously. There will also be noticeably more recoil in the hammer than the initial strikes. The best driving tool depends on what's on hand. If no dedicated driver exists, the right tool is whatever gets the job done and whatever you're comfortable with sacrificing its appearance. Use a rigid adapter piece of similar diameter, such as an old socket. Use extra caution when using a punch instead of a driver to seat the pinion bearing races. The race has to be walked in slowly. Using a star-type pattern is recommended. Adjusting is necessary to even the pinion bearing race out. If the races are going into a removable pinion support, like such, a hydraulic press can be used. A surefire way to seat the races evenly is when the support sits steady on a single press plate. Press the races in until they sit flush on the bore's inner lip. We're sure there's plenty of other creative methods people have come up with to get the job done. However, these are the only methods we would recommend using. It just takes time and patience.
If this helped you or you learned something new, tap that like button. And don't forget, we want to hear from you. What steps do you want to see broken down in detail? Which steps are difficult to replicate with your setup? And make sure you're subscribed to stay notified about the next fun project in the Rear Wheel Performance Garage.